Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Alex, Asian truck driver. Basically, today I want to go over some quick tips that can inform you on what you need to get your actual commercial learner's permit. So, everyone checks at the DMV. I want to start. I used to live in California, but California is kind of the staples of guidelines because everyone follows suit. Florida, I'm talking about everybody. Any rules that California makes, every other state follows suit. So it's just best, I would say, to look up California, DMV. Now, what you're going to want to do is what I want you to do from this website is go on to driver licenses, go to commercial driver license information. Okay. And I want you to look at all these key bullet points. The ones that jump out to me are CDL testing and CLP standards, sample tests, questions for Class A and B license, and commercial driver license handbook. So the first thing I want you to click on is just the standards. A lot of you have a lot of questions, but this right here will tell you all you need to know about how old you need to be. It says 18, how many days your commercial learner's permit's good for, and basically all the codes, and just to get familiar in what you need. Now from this though, what I like is just basically the commercial driver license handbook. So you're just going to want to go to this and you're going to want to read this bad boy. So right here from table of contents, it gives you a breakdown of what you need, and all the answers are in here. Hazardous, your pre-trip inspection test, your tank vehicles, your doubles, combination vehicles, air brakes, transporting passengers, transporting cargo safely, okay? And then section 1, introduction, and section 2, it's a lot bigger because that's your first general knowledge test, which is 50 questions. So what you're going to have to pass is these 50 questions, basically the combinations, the doubles, the tanks, hazmats, and air brakes, pre-trips. Those are about 20-25 questions. Now I just want to let you know, so you don't have to look it up yourself, but you can fill it each test up to 3 times. Now you don't want to do that, but you can fill each test up to 3 times, and you don't actually have to go to the DMV and take all the tests in the same day. You can actually break it up. I would, kind of break it up in order. Do your general knowledge test, do your air brakes, your combination, and do your pre-trip tests first, and basically your hazmat and tankers and doubles and triples. Those are endorsements, and basically that's something that I would encourage all to get. I myself didn't get them, but what that does is that gives you a step forward in the right direction, because these guys are specialists, and when they're specialists, you make more money. So I don't want to scare you, but any of the 3 tests that you take, if you fail them after the 3rd try, you're going to have to retake all the tests. So let me give you an example. If you take your general knowledge and you take your air brakes, your combinations, and your pre-trip, but just say, you failed your general knowledge 3 times, well, basically, you're going to have to retake all of them. The good part about it is you have 3 chances for each test, but once you fail any of them 3 times, you're going to have to retake all of them. So you get 2 chances to do that. So it's basically you get 6 times to fail. So it sounds like a lot of fails, but honestly, it's not. The hard part about it is you're going to have to basically really gear down and study this like it's the bars or CPA, because I mean this is going to be your money maker. Now, from the DMV site, you're going to download this handbook. But let's go back. After you do that, what I want you to do is, after you're at the Department of Motor Vehicles website for California, go in and look up commercial driver license permit checklist. Okay? And in the search, when you look that up, the first thing that should come up is the commercial driver license permit checklist. I wish someone would have helped me with this when I first started, and no one did. So basically, this is the checklist. It tells you what you need. You need to be at least 18 years older. You must be at least 21 years to drive interstate. So basically, interstate is driving out of state, and basically intrastate is driving locally. So you have to be 18 to drive locally and 21 to drive, like they say, over the road. Okay? You need to complete a commercial driver's license application form at the DMV, which is a DL44C form. You need to do a 10-year history record check form. Okay? DL939 form. All right, and you have to provide your full name. And basically, the easiest way to do that is basically giving your commercial driver's license or California driver's license to the DMV clerk, and that will prove your full name and birth. But if you don't have that, of course, have your legal documents, your birth certificates or whatnot, and then your social security number. Okay? So social security number, don't forget that, because after waiting in line, you're going to have to come back. Then what you're going to have to do is the knowledge test that we talked about. Okay? But you have to pay for these application fees that we talked about as well, which were the commercial driver license application form and the 10-year history check. And another thing is I suggest get your DOT, basically Department of Transportation medical card, basically out of the way. So it's a form. It basically, what they do is they have a list on their site for all available, I would say, doctors that they will allow you to get checked at. So look for DOT certified. Go to the doctor's office, get checked, because besides getting your permit, you actually need a medical card. And a medical card is basically a doctor's note saying that for 2 years, you're good to drive. So you're going to need that medical card and this info. So get it out of the way so you don't have to do that later. Now, we could talk about more of the medical card in another video, but pay the application fee. Okay, right here. So there's the original license, the renewal, commercial driving or skills test. So basically, commercial driving test or your skills test is the physical part where you're doing all the backing up, and we could go over that in another video. But the skill and retest, what that is basically is it's $33. So for name change, removing air brakes or what have you guys can kind of look up these endorsements, and adding the following endorsements is $43 each. So it's not much, but the thing is adding a motorcycle license, to your Class A is going to cost you money too. So one thing that you need to know is I have my Class C, which is my regular driving license, and I had my motorcycle license. And when I went in to get my Class A permit, what they made me do is retake the Class C and Class M motorcycle tests. So just be aware that that can happen if you want those endorsements, because you're basically getting a fresh start. They're taking everything off, and they might re-give you those tests. So if that happens, then there you go. You're not gonna be nervous about it, because I told you about it. So you'll be good. You'll be in a better situation than I was. So that's the information that you need. And at the end, additional information regarding commercial permit. So it basically says 10-year history check, how to apply, and this TSA process. After you get your license is actually something that you have to do. You have to call this number right here, make an appointment with the TSA agent, and then they will give you the required information. Uh, a California driver license or California identification card, and out-of-state driver's license will do. But basically, they're gonna say, "Hey, this person seems like a legitimate person and decent enough that we're gonna let them truck drive." So that's a newer rule. I believe they instilled in 2005, but this is just extra information. But basically, your TSA process and the medical card that I was talking about, go get your DOT check, and we could talk about that in a video. But basically, those are the tips that help me. Now, commercial driver license permit checklist, that's what you type in the search engine. You're going to want to go to the driver's license, go under commercial driver's license, and then go under the handbook to get the actual handbook download, so you actually don't have to go to the DMV and read up on all this bad boy. Now, real quick, I just want to give some tips and tricks. Basically, all right, there's a Android app. I mean, it's on iOS as well, which is on your iPhone. It's a CDL practice test, and basically install this app, and it's going to give you a lot of info. It's sponsored by Trucking Truth, and this is a great website. It's going to get you very involved, and it's going to give you the right answers, and that's what's important. And it's going to give you questions, and then you could submit the answers and learn that way, because there's a lot of people that do learn that way. Another one that I like is CDL Career Now. So check out CDL Career Now, and basically this is a website geared towards teaching people how to pass their tests and becoming a truck driver. Now, I'm not sponsored by this site, but what this does is it gives you general knowledge, tanker endorsement practice tests, air brake practice tests, doubles and triples, combination hazmat. So when you click on it, it's going to give you 52 questions of each. So it kind of breaks it down, and it's kind of good because a lot of these sample tests, like on DMV, it's only like 10 questions or whatnot. And this kind of gives you the feel of the 50 questions that are going to be on your general knowledge test. So another site I like as well, let me see, is this one right here. So CDLknowledge.com. So CDLknowledge.com is a great one. I like this one a lot because it's CDL practice tests, and that's at CDLknowledge.com. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they have a great website. So general knowledge practice tests, air brakes, combinations, doubles, triples, hazmats, passengers, pre-trip inspections, school bus, tanker endorsements. So basically, the tanker endorsements, the school bus, what have you, the doubles and triples, and the hazmats, those are endorsements that you get after. I would focus on your pre-trips, your combinations, your generals, and your air brakes. So when you click on one of these, they're actually going to have like different, it's not just one, it's 5 different ones. And then they're going to give you 30 questions of each. And then when you click, if just say you click on the wrong one, okay, it's going to tell you what the right answer is. So it's a great way, a studying tool. So overall, hopefully this is helpful. Go check out the DMV website, type in the search for the commercial checklist, download the handbook, check out cdlcareer.now or cdlcareernow.com. Download the CDL practice test app and cdlknowledge.com, which is the one that gives you a lot of the great answers. And hopefully you felt like this video was very informative. It takes a lot of research when you're new. You don't know where to start. So hopefully this just gets you a foot closer to the door and you feel very comfortable. Please subscribe. Appreciate it, guys. Always love the comments. All right, take care.